I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat, South America. Just said in the chat it's going to be a short one, but hopefully a good one. It's interesting because I'm sitting here waiting for it to start. I'm looking at it going, it's going to be a short one. I have a minute to go, so I just decided to go early. Wish I had more time in my day. Brock and Kristen, you guys are awesome. Let's hit the like. Maybe we'll get a few people to show up. What an interesting day. So let me clean this lens. There. It's going to be a short one. Last night was, I had an idea of what I was going to say last night. Maybe I ought to prepare things better, but I'm not a guy that I don't work with a net. Grumpy Gill, good to see you. Sam, good to see you. Let's give this thing a like. Maybe we'll get some more people in here. I sat down last night. I knew what I was going to do for the show, and I just had kind of a rough idea. Keith Kingman. I didn't really have a rough idea. I just had to tell a story, and that's the bottom line. Lisa, good morning. I wanted, I want to help people. I want to talk just for a minute. I got church coming very shortly, so I'm not going to be very long. Before I even get into this stream, Josh, good morning. Captain Capsaicin, prayers for my brother. He has got a toothache, high ARWA. There's nothing he can do about it now. Tomorrow he's going to be able to go to a dentist, but it's Sunday. And he didn't sleep last night. He was in agony. Rocket Queen, good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. So he's sort of in agony. He may, in spite of being hurt, he's like, he's going to try to do a live. I think it's for a distraction. But he's in a jam. So if you guys can pray for my baby brother, he's going through it. Barella, good to see you. We do things in life. We have no idea what I don't want to say fallout, but what's going to happen. You know what I mean? You never know. Her reaction is a reaction, right? My goal with everything is I want to, it wasn't always like that, but I want to help people. I want what I do to have an impact. Hi, Jane. Good morning. Last night I did that video, and when I tell you it wasn't a fun video to do, boy, I mean it. It really wasn't. But I wanted something good to come from it. Some good things came from it. 7 people have reached out. Riley, maybe not, Josh. I'm sorry, maybe not. You know what I mean? I would hate to have, say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I appreciate you asking. Renee, good morning. Thank you for letting me know and thinking of that. Last night was a rough one. Sandy Wendy, good to see you. Winchester Super X, thank you for being here. I wanted good things to come from it. 7 people reached out. We're in the jam. The only one I'll mention is Dilrod because he was in the chat and everybody heard it, but he reached out. It's interesting. Barbara, good morning. Really appreciate you guys being here. So last night, it was an interesting video. Gauthi, good to see you. Most of them are problems with opiates. 2 were kratom or kratom, whatever you call it. 1 with alcohol, 1 with weed. And here's the good thing. I've never done kratom, or I got to learn how to say that, right? Probably ought to. But that's the only one I don't have any experience with. But the path out of the woods or getting out of that black hole, it's the same. So, it was a good thing. That was important. There was only 6. There was another one this morning. I've reached out to everybody. It's going to be a day of emailing and connecting with people. It's one. I want to talk specifically about one. I'm not going to mention names. Obviously, I'm not. But I got one person emailed me last night and said, "Hang on, I have my realtor. Hang on. Okay, Tommy, I'm sending you something. Come here a minute. I got something from Amy that may help your tooth. Our realtor. She just sent me this. Yeah. I got one email that I do want to talk about. I'm not going to obviously mention name, like I said. This person said they've never really done anything. They haven't walked down that horrific path of substance abuse. And they said he's been thinking about the devil's lettuce, about weed for a long time. Kind of feels he essentially says there's something. It's a man. He sort of feels like he kind of wants to try it before he dies. It's something he sort of wants to experience. And thank you, man. Did you forward it to you? Good. Hope I said hi to everybody. And here's what I said to him. I'm paraphrasing this. This is for everybody. There's one chance in a million that trying something, even if it's, in today's world of substances out there, weed sort of seems like kind of a little one, right? So it started me on my path. I essentially said, let me read what I said. Because I tried, it's really fun. I'm like, what can I possibly say? Sum it up in one sentence that's going to impact him. He's a good guy, Even if the odds are 1 in a million, all right, gambling with addiction, it isn't worth the only life you get. If we all got 1,000 lives, have a ball with it. Give it a shot. I still think it was foolish, but we don't get 1,000 lives. You get one trip around, and that's it. And boy, I'll tell you something. I was 16 yesterday, so that one trip we get around, excuse me, you go like this, and it's over. My little baby girl, I held her like this. She's in med school. It goes by so quick. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk. So I'm trying to come up with one sentence that kind of, resonate with them. Even if there's only one sliver of a chance that it'll take you under, it's not worth risking everything for a high that doesn't last. You know what high does last? Helping people. Helping people. When I tell you that that's my drug of choice, I'm not saying it just to make, it sounds cool. I'm not. Helping people really is. It's like the most. I can't tell you. I had trouble sleeping last night for a couple of reasons. My baby brother is in agony right now. He's going to get help tomorrow. There's no places open on a Sunday. Probably in North America either, for that matter. But so that kept me from sleeping, and I kept looking at my emails. Those 7 people want to help. That's so amazing because those 7 people, I'm a dreamer, okay? So let's say all 7 get sober. Statistically, that isn't going to happen, right? Let's say every one of those 7 people gets sober. What effect does that have, right? I have to assume, and they may not all have kids, but guess what? They know people. They have family members. Maybe nobody in their family even knows they've got a problem. But I'm telling you, if every one of those people gets sober, I believe the ripple, like throwing a rock in a pond, the ripple of that echoes for eternity. So I had trouble sleeping last night. I'm excited to help people. I really am. I mean, I know it sounds hokey. I want to tell you what happened last night. I got 7 emails from people that said, "Can you help me?" I bet I got almost that many from people that not even worth talking about, just ugly, nasty emails. When I couldn't sleep last night, you know what I did? I prayed for them. That's what I did. So, it's really interesting. I'm not concerned about numbers, like subscriber numbers and everything. I'm really not. But they're leaving in groves. It doesn't concern me because, the truth of the matter is this. I've subscribed to a lot of channels. If I leave a channel, I don't think I've ever unsubscribed from somebody, ever. I just walk away. So I think a lot of times when people unsubscribe from me, it's like their way of spanking you. They want to know that they're unhappy with the direction you're going. They're like, well, maybe he'll see this. Not really concerned about that. I want to help people. And here's my challenge. It's Saturday. It's Sunday. Try to help somebody today. Even if it's little, opening a door for somebody, something little. Just try it and see if, I'm not full of crap. I'm not lying to you guys. It's a beautiful thing to help somebody. It really is. And that's my get done. That's all I want to do. And the funny thing is, happy people or miserable people don't like happy people. People that don't subscribe to my thinking right now don't like the way I'm thinking right now. And that's okay. It really is. It's funny. I did get a bunch of, I got a lot of emails from people who didn't need help, but just said, wow, I didn't know, but I'm glad you did that video. That's a lot of those. You know what? I'm not worried. Stay here for 1 second, you guys. Please don't go anywhere. I assume nobody will. Just hang with me for a minute, you guys. This is bad timing, people. I'm sorry. Nah, you got stuff going on. All right. So that's really uncool, super unprofessional. Ironically, more people are here than when I walked away. I got a lot of emails. I'm sorry about that. I got a lot of emails from people who said, I'm proud of you. A bunch of them said, I didn't know. It doesn't matter. I didn't know, but I'm proud of you. I'm not trying to do this for people to be proud of me. I just, I don't know. I do want to help, honestly. It matters. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are just upset about the direction that this is going. I'm going to eat peppers. I really am. Really thinking about changing the name to the Chase the Heat Buffet. Consume what you want, pass on what you don't. It is what it is. Let me read a few comments. If you need help, email me. I'll do what I can to help. Mark said, for some reason, I can't see, for some reason, weed has had a bad effect on me. And I don't like it. Kratom, unfortunately, love the way too much more than it. Seriously. Here's the thing. It's every time I talk about this, I upset people. It's not heroin. It fires, it works on the exact same receptors. So if you have a guy that's kicking dope and you have a guy kicking kratom or kratom, whatever it is, day 3, you're both hurting. What does it matter what you call it? You're both having to kick something. Who cares what the name is? Because I think like that, it may as well be heroin to me. So it just scares me. I'm scared. It's a scary thing. Mark says, weed makes me paranoid and anxious. I already have major anxiety issues. I feel you, for real. I vape weed every day. I don't drink or do any other drugs and run regularly and go to the gym every few days for years. Now, here's the thing. I want you to know something. I should have been more clear about this. Because I'm choosing a life of no substance, I know people, it's okay. Let me put that on the screen. Please understand, I'm not saying you have a problem. Are you scared, Jody? Or are you scared, Jody? Hey, scared, Jody. Please understand, I'm not saying you have a problem. I had a problem, right? I know people that have used one substance or another their entire lives and are solid and have it going. Maybe, you know what I mean? So I hope the message that I did only reached people that were saying, like when you shave or you put your makeup on or whatever, when you're in front of the mirror, we all look at it and you put on a face when you leave your home. You go to work, you do your thing. But when you're in front of the mirror, there's no face. And so way before anyone ever said, hey, you may have an issue, I knew it. So if you're somebody and you're solid and it's part of your life, like I know people that eat gummies every night. I don't judge. I stay in my lane. You know what I mean? There are people that don't have a problem. There are people that drink alcohol and never have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with that. So really the message for people that have that little voice in the ear going, hey, you know what? Maybe you got to look at this. So for anybody that saw that, and maybe some of the people that left or felt that I was talking to them, and I don't want to, there are people that use. It's a big difference than abuse. You follow me? Keith, like I said last night, this is the real Chase the Heat. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Thank you, Keith. I want you guys to know something. I have an awful lot of people that love and support me. For real. The number of Archie's mom, good to see you. Thank you for being here. The number of people last night, Peg City Peppers, good morning. The number of people that said, I'm proud of you. It's wonderful, Now, would I be doing all this if I didn't have the play button already? If I didn't have 9 years and the things that this channel has done? I would hope so. You know what I mean? I would hope I would be doing this. It certainly is easier. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I smoke weed daily, but I don't think it's a problem. My 20 years of crack and heroin was a problem. I'm a big believer in harm reduction. You're a stunning character, Archie's mom. I'm proud of what you've achieved. Really proud of the things that you've been able to achieve. It's issues. I'm leaving for the church in about 20 minutes. So I'm really excited about that. Listen, if the video didn't speak to you, if you don't have an issue in your life, please don't take offense to it. There are so many people who do. So I don't want it to come off like I am not holier than thou. Golly. Not even close. So that message was only for the people that have issues, And the reason I'm saying this, a lot of the people that email me, I want to grab you and choke you. I think they felt like I was talking to them. You know what I mean? And if if you don't have a problem, please don't be offended. There's a big difference between use and abuse. Winchester Super X, I kicked ice 2 years and 3 months ago. Still have a beers or scotch. There's moderate and they're in moderate quantities. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. You sound like you got it going on. I wasn't that guy. You know what I mean? I wasn't. I talked last night about like the daycare center. And Tommy and I walked by and there were kids, spitting until they get dizzy. We had this huge hill in my house. It had a double, like right in front of my house. Big dip, all grass, and another one. And we used to roll that when we were kids. We used to roll constantly. I was that guy. You know what I mean? So if you're not that person, man, proud of you. But if you're that person, you want to help, I'm really proud of you too. I should have prefaced that whole show differently. Started like, hey, if you don't have but I didn't. It is what it is. Thank you, Keith. I'm glad you're proud of me. I am. One digital watcher. I just want to be hooked on peppers. I drink a little, and I'm a little bored of it, but I don't want anything stronger. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. Listen, you're a force of nature. Everybody I think one thing that everybody needs to know is if you're trying to quit something, you're 10 times stronger than you think you are. It's the truth. Because in that moment when you realize you got to quit something, you feel vulnerable, you feel weak, you don't feel strength at all. I know. Brandon, that's a good dude right there. Still with you? Always will be, brother. I think I need different glasses. You know what? There you go. Brandon, thank you. I appreciate that. Barbara says, I forgot about my lap in and took a gummy for sleep. Told my husband I was too high to go to Walmart the next morning. I will never live that down. You know what? It's funny. It's a journey. You know what I mean? All of us, we're on a journey, and it's a one step at a time kind of thing. We live and we learn. I lived and lived and lived and lived, and only recently have I been learning, Captain Cap Station, chase the heat is a blessing, bro. It helps people more than you know. People will get offended because you can't please everyone. It's like beating a dead horse. Yeah, here's the problem. Hi, Dale. Good morning. When you do what I do, and maybe I shouldn't say, maybe it's just me. I do want to please everybody. If you click a button on my channel and you watch a video, I want you to walk away from it going, I'm glad I watched that. So, maybe it's a flaw, a character flaw. I'm not really concerned if everybody likes me, because listen, forever, I'm an anchovy. My whole life, people have either really dig me or they hate me, one or the other. So it's not like, I'm not trying to sway the ones that don't like me. It is what it is. But for those that need help, I want them to be comfortable enough to reach out and say, hey, man, I need help. You know what I mean? Can I help her? Listen, I'm going to try. I don't have a magic bullet. I don't have the perfect words to say. If I did, I'd be saying them. You know what I mean? What I have is a desire to help. Like Tommy, he's got the magic words. He's so much better at this than I am. But here's the good news. He's my guru. He'd hate hearing me say that. But when he talks, it's funny. When he talks, man, I listen. Like, you have no idea. Every time he opens his mouth, I feel like it's important. Stephen Marshall, glad to see you. Scott Katz, good to see you. Oh my gosh. These are my glasses, people. I think I'm going to be wearing these from now on. Yeah, right? You can lead people to water, but you can't force them to drink it. Yeah, man, it's the truth. You know what I mean? Those are some sick glasses. I like them. So anyway, the ramifications of last night. I have a lot of people that are upset at me. It's okay. You know, the ones that bum me out the most are the ones like in the very beginning of the stream. It's a rough one to read right as the stream was beginning. I've watched you for a long time. I didn't know you have a problem. Now, maybe they were like, I don't know what, like they didn't finish the sentence. Maybe they said, I didn't know you have a problem. I'm glad you're doing this video. And maybe that was what they were feeling. But when I read that, I was like, oh, man. So that's a bummer. You know what I mean? Because there are people like look at Josh Cohen. What a wonderful guy. He's in the chat right now. It's a fantastic guy. A believer, just a super person. I met he and his daughter, Riley Rose. She was 4 years old. Thank God, you know, he's like, are you sure, Riley? And I'm glad Riley's not listening to this, but, you know, I don't even know I want to I want to bum people out. I want to help. That's it.
If I may?
Yeah, you may.
300 people are going to die in the United States today. Do you know how many of my parents that didn't want their kids to know that they had done drugs because they would think differently about them?
See, that's why he's the guru. Did you hear that? It is, dude. Sorry. He called me a legend. You have it coming to you. He said, and it's so true, 300 people. Wind in my face. Good to see you, dude. 300 people yesterday died of overdoses. And they had parents, right, that maybe just didn't want to let them know that they had a problem. You know, and talking about it is really important. We got to, isn't that crazy? 300 people. I think about that so much. And that's what, you know, what are the real numbers? Think about it a lot. Like, seriously, if it, you know, took a long flight to get here, we boarded a 747 or whatever, a 737 or 777, whatever. If one dropped a day, how many days will go by before they said, all right, hold on, we're grounding every single plane. We have a problem here, right? It's different. Disposables, you know what I mean? But the problem is it's not disposable. It's getting innocent people. It's just crazy. The journey goes to the end. I hope to keep learning until that journey ends. Amen. Here's a weird thing. We don't know. Nobody knows when their journey is going to end, right? I mean, think of in the past. That's what I talked this past week about. A bunch of famous people that we all know. We all know their names. Checked out. Cajun Floridian, good to see you. A lot of very famous people had their last day last week. You know what I mean? And we know these people. I don't know. It causes me to reflect. Nobody knows when it's over. Nobody knows when, you know, the bus is going to make its last stop, right? So we got to make the most of it. You know, I'm looking at Tommy right now on the balcony. He's in agony. It's breaking my heart. Here we go. Dale says, I have a new member to the family, another dog, Argentina. He's an awesome puppy. He's solid white. His name is Shadow. Very cool, Dale. Animals make life better. I believe that. I will never get tired of them roasting each other by calling them guru. See, I didn't even finish that because somebody could be listening and not reading it. Listen, the student and teacher thing is really interesting. Every single person in this chat is a teacher. And every single person listening to my voice is a student. And if you don't think you're a student, you're going to find one day that you are. We all are. It's part of the experience of life. And every single one of you is a guru because every one of you have said something in a moment that's been profound. Brock Bandy, that's a guru. If you know him many times, you know what? Krista Belinda is a guru. Everyone, if you know many times, Brock Bandy has said something to me. And I've told him, like, wow. You know, so we have to understand that. Now, Marty Mungos, I'm glad you're here. Every one of us is an influencer, and that's the tough one. And I'll tell you what, if you don't think you're an influencer, that's a problem because I promise you, you are. I was an influencer way before the internet, you know, and I influenced so many in the wrong direction. But I'm not regretting anything. I'm just moving forward. Queenslander, cheers from Mildura, Australia. 19 years sober. That's so cool. Thank you. You know what? If you're sober, just let me know how many years you are. Let me know how many years you're sober. It's a pretty important thing. Jeremy Shelton, I'm still trying to get over the tragic loss of my college girlfriend, Fawn. She unfortunately passed away from a freak accident. I'm sorry. You know, we carry things for a long time. You know, sometimes things bother us. We never actually get over it. Every one of us is, you may not even realize it, every one of us is still feeling the effects of things that have happened in our past. We may not even know it. 7 years, Keith Kingman. That's awesome. I'm 15, probably closer to 16 now. Over 15 years sober from all the bad ones, the ones I talked about last night. You know, it's funny. The minute you say, I knew last night going into it that more than likely people were going to be interested in watching that video because of the title. I want people to watch it because it's going to help more people. But I knew because of the subject matter that YouTube was going to demonetize it. One Digital Watcher, I'm glad to see you. And here's the thing about monetization. You have to understand something. A lot of people sober. Money's not the most important thing in my life. It really, really isn't. I promise you. However, this is my job. You know what I mean? It's my job. So I knew going into last night's video, it was going to be demonetized. And the funny thing, you know what YouTube does? They'll still put ads on it, but they don't give me the money. They keep it. But it doesn't matter because, like I said, someone's going to hear it. I thank God that video is still there. They're going to bear it. They're never going to push it out. You realize if they just said, you know what, that's an important message, they could hit a button and make sure that 20 million people see that video today. But they'll never do that. They won't. They don't like that message. They bury things that are positive a lot of times. It's really strange. 15 years, Lisa Trimble, rock star. I'm proud of you. TXJ, good to see you. DS Kitty, good to see you. Barbara Waite, I have never had a substance problem, but my son is recovering meth addict. That's what brought me to the Scovilles. Wow. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad your son's recovering. Here's the thing. It's like somebody who goes to war. If somebody's in the military, when someone serves, your whole family serves. I got news for you. If you have a son who's addicted, you're feeling it just like he is. I promise you are. So I'm glad. Yeah, thank God. Meth is a rough one too. That is a bad one. Josh, I'll be praying for any of you that are hurting and fighting addiction. It's a rough one. Thank you, Josh. You know what? I got to tell you something. When Josh says that, he means it. He's not just saying that. It's a pretty cool thing. Mark, so I'm sorry for your loss, Jeremy. For real. I like Jeremy a lot. You know, 3 years off, Class A has a month off methadone. 3 years off the class as a month off methadone. Can I tell you something? Methadone is a really hard one to get off too because it stays in your system. Oh, God. It's a hard one. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the love. For the one, honestly, if you saw it, for somebody who's watched me for a long time, see, there are people that watch me for a while and then slip away and then come back. Those people I feel terrible for. Imagine that. Imagine seeing me and then you haven't watched me for a while and you click on and you hear me say, I'm a recovering heroin. I'm devastated, I think. And I feel bad for those people. I do. I feel bad because, that very first one of the early comments was such a bummer. I watched you for so long. I didn't know. Here's the thing, though. Like 7 degrees of separation. There's nobody that doesn't have somebody that they love that's addicted. Every single person. You may not know it. Everybody. It's a terrible thing. If I Googled this the other day. I'm not going to stay on very long. I'm going to get ready because I have to go to church. But if you think of just drugs, alcohol, all those, and then you factor in shopping, gambling, porn, sugar, food, phones, gambling, 80%. This is what Google said, or Chat GPT, and I think they're wrong. But they said that if you factor in all those, 80% of the globe has an addiction. Let's do this here. I named my Chat GPT. I don't know if you guys ever do that. What is 80% of 8.5 billion? I could just done it really easy with my computer. But I didn't. Let's see, 80% of 8.5 billion. That means there are about 6.8 billion people on this planet that have an addiction. You wonder why the world is the way it is? Listen, when I was in an active addiction, I was a train wreck. And if you bumped into me, you were going to feel the effects of that train wreck. Well, think about this. Round it up to 7 billion, because I think the 80%'s off. 7 billion people have an addiction. My goodness. My father recovered from alcoholism. Sadly, when he quit, the damage from that and smoking got him. Listen, I'm so sorry, but if you're going to play, if you're going to dance, you're going to pay the band. And, you don't know what. I thank God, if you knew, I kind of gave you an idea last night, for a long time, I abused something. The fact that I can talk and form a sentence is pretty amazing. And Tommy, even more remarkable. If the guy he can't just form a sentence. When he talks, I kid you not, it's like if he's saying something to himself in another room, I get up and go listen to hear what he's saying. Because it may be something I can use. I'm not used, but I can benefit from. I'm not kidding. Johnny, yes, when one family member serves, the whole family serves. True statement. Yep. Addiction is the same way. I love you all. Keep looking up. Thank you, Josh. Keith says, thank you, Lisa, and everyone in here. You guys are amazing. God bless all of you. Keep going. It only gets better from here. Boy, it can. You should hear me pop. Hear that? I'm broken. If you think someone is skating through life, it's most likely they're just keeping quiet about the tough stuff. I knew a college professor at the University of Vermont that had a 3 gram a day heroin addiction for 30 years. Imagine that. He was a professor. Nobody knew it. I know someone that stole large amounts of money from his parent. Now he's in a home or the streets. If you think you go for that, I think if you go that far, you are mental in the head. Here's the thing. It certainly will affect you. But I'll tell you something. Whatever your friend did, I've done worse. So nobody's past redemption. It's now 10 after 10 more minutes. I got to split you guys because I'm going to church. I apologize. I didn't get to hit everybody's comments, and there were a bunch of really great ones. Please forgive me, okay? Tommy may be on later. Please pray for him. Like, it's killing me. I wish I could take that pain on for the day and give him a break. You know what I mean? So say a prayer for him, if you guys, and say a prayer for all those suffering. I'm sorry I can't stay longer. I'll be on tonight. And guess what? Tonight, it's going to be a lot more fun. It won't be as heavy. I give you my word. But if you're struggling, reach out. chasetheheat@gmail.com. Tommy's better at this than I am. So email tommyscoville@gmail.com. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for that comment. I read that, then I'll bounce. Brandon's a good guy. I know him. When I discovered Chase Heat, I was at a major crossroads, Johnny, and the content of the channel helped me steer in the right direction and still does. Pedal to the metal. A warrior doesn't leave the field until the battle's over. Got a lot of fighting to do. I'm tough and I can handle it. I love you guys. Oh, 1 hot minute? Huh. It could be. All right, guys, I appreciate you all. I love you. Stay strong. Reach out if you need me. Seriously. Tommy, too. I'm praying for all of you. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me babble this morning. You guys are all awesome. See you guys later. I am Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat in South America.